Hey Scorpio, welcome to your love reading for April 2020. It is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Some of it might be for you, some of it might be for someone else. You might be a sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus sign Scorpio, or you might be watching for someone that's a Scorpio. Either way, I am grateful that you are here. You can find me on Instagram at Candy Wishman, and you can also find me on Patron. The information is in the description box below. As well as my social media posting schedule. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's see what the overall energy is of the situation. Wow, that was fast. So circuitous route perception. Okay, 5. We have the spiral dancer. So I feel, because the 5 is freedom through change. Okay, a 5 is, I feel like you're seeing similar patterns. Okay, but they're showing up for you. You're going to keep circling the same pattern until your perception changes around it, until you change your own inner energy so that you can get off of the cycle. Okay, so I don't know if this is necessarily, so we have the Swan Queen on the bottom. Okay, we have a 13, which is a bit of a karmic number. Transformation, intuition, and patience. Okay, I don't know if swans are important to you guys, but swans were in there as well. I feel like maybe you might just be waking up, okay, to seeing synchronicities, serendipitous stuff happening. I feel like your patterns are really coming forward because the patterns that you have are going to be reflective of your childhood experiences, okay? So be mindful of that. And it could have to do with relationships, right? Like the kind of relationships you had growing up are going to dictate the kind of relationships you have as an adult. So be mindful of that. And let's kind of see where you're at in this situation. Scorpio, where are you at? Okay. So we have the Four of Wands on the bottom. We have an energy of someone who wants a commitment, okay? I can feel that very strongly. You want a commitment. I'm going to say this, and again, take it as it resonates, but do you commit to yourself the same way you would want someone to commit to you? Not the way you would commit to someone else. You're absolutely committed. When you're committed and you're loyal, but I feel like when you also expect someone to be that way towards you, but I'm not sure you're completely committed to yourself in the same unconditional loving way. So whatever that means to you, feel into that, okay? The first card that popped up here was the Two of Swords. It is a concept of feeling blinded, kind of feeling stuck, unable to make a decision. I'm going to leave that there because there's more to this for sure. Yeah, look at that. Then we have the Tower. So you could be experiencing a lot of Tower moments. The Tower comes in. The guidance for this is be the force for change or be subjected to it. Okay. So it's sort of like being aware that the Tower comes into your life and it does kind of rock your foundations. It's supposed to, because anything that isn't solid will fall away. And anything that isn't solid, you don't want underneath you anyways. So it's sort of like, I feel like there's an energy of like, why is this happening to me again? Why does this keep happening? And I feel like you're being shown why. You just have to be open to it and be open to the reception that this is the same lesson, okay? So we have also the Knight of Wands, okay? You may be naturally attracted to charming, charismatic, flirty, unreliable men or women. Doesn't have to be a man, can be a woman too. The gender doesn't matter. It's the energy of the person. I feel like it's an energy that's familiar to you, but it always ends up like this. They never meet your expectations. They always let you down in some way. and then you get mad at yourself for letting them in again. So I feel like that's kind of the pattern here. And again, this may not resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't try and squeeze it into your life. But if it resonates with you, be open to what it's saying, because I feel like these things are happening so you don't have to repeatedly make the same decisions over and over again with your love life. Okay. All right, let's get a few cards representing the other person in this connection. Okay. Okay, these must be, are these all upside down? Yeah. Okay, very, very interesting. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords on the bottom. Okay, here's an interesting dynamic that's coming through. Okay, the Three of Swords is Libra energy, so they could have Libra in their chart. Because of the cards that came up here, and I'll explain them in a moment, I have a sneaking suspicion that you're actually looking for them to mess up somewhere, and it's constantly causing heartache for the two of you. All it takes is them saying one thing in one way, or it's almost like you're like, well, I'm going to put you to the test and I know you're going to fail. That's your inner child coming out, trying to protect you from feeling loved. Okay, I get that's hard to maybe wrap your head around, but I think it's really, this is all coming out more for you to recognize your own behavior when it comes to romantic relationships. Are you setting them up to fail? Are you expecting them to be a certain way for you to feel better about yourself? Have they actually let you down, or are you assuming that they do and then looking for the ways that they are? Okay, so feel into that, because we have the High Priestess here. Okay, so we have an individual that is definitely Virgo, I think maybe Pisces. Okay, but we also have, and maybe Scorpio, also another Scorpio energy, high intuition. Okay, but the energies of this person, with the exception of this 3 underlying, okay, where they're feeling hurt. Okay, I feel like they're very open and awake as a person. Like, they're very relaxed. They're not, I think that you find them charming, but I don't feel like they're, it's very interesting because we have the Sun. Okay, so there's a lot of happiness here. There's joy here to be had once you can be clear about it. And then we have a new beginning. We have the Fool. We have Sagittarius, Aquarius energy. I think there's certain things about them that remind you of the other people you've dated before, but I don't think that they're like them at all. I think they're very carefree. I don't think they let a lot of stuff weigh them down, but I don't feel like they're flighty. I think, like with this Knight of Wands energy, I feel like whoever you've been with before hasn't really taken into consideration. They're not a deeply emotional person. And for whatever reason, you attract those people into your life. I suspect that either your father or your mother was like that, and you continually attract that into your life in some way. But I feel like this person they're not deeply emotional, but they're not a flighty person either. I think they're just, they're kind of walk to their beat of their own drum. But I really don't feel like, I feel like they're very happy, like, with you. And I think it really hurts them when they let you down, because I don't think they understand how they're letting you down. I think there needs to be communication between the two of you for sure. And I think you need to be open and vulnerable with them so you can both understand each other. You want a commitment with someone, but maybe you're not being open enough with them about how you're really feeling about things, right? You don't want to be that needy person, but at the same time, there's a lot of miscommunication between the two of you. All right, let's take a look at hidden factors. Yeah. Okay, yeah, look at that. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups. Okay, your happiness, the happiness you want is there. It's there underneath everything, underneath all of those assumptions or thinking that this person's going to let you down. Then we have the Page of Wands. Okay, so this is sort of apprenticing passion, apprenticing creativity, apprenticing how to fuel your fire, like what actually makes you happy. Okay, and then we have justice. So we have some karmic balancing here. And I feel like at this point, you're kind of creating your own karma. You're creating that feeling like, I feel like you're just creating the drama that doesn't need to be there because that's what you're used to and that's what you're expecting. So you're going to get ahead of it and protect yourself, but there's really nothing to protect yourself from. I do feel like what's really important here and what's going to come up sooner than later is your need to develop what actually makes you happy, because someone else can't make you happy. You have to do that for yourself, because this person has all the potential in the world to make you happy. But because you're so used to being let down and putting all of your happiness in the arms of someone else, they'll never, ever succeed at that. They'll always fall short, okay? All right, let's see. What else? Let's get some shuffle on here. Okay, external influences. Let's take a look at some external influences for you guys. Oh, it's going to fall on the ground anyways. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is an interesting energy because it's an energy of someone that keeps themselves trapped. It's self-imposed entrapment, but it's all in the mind. Okay, it's all in the mind. The mind is overriding the heart. It's the protective ego. I have to protect myself from being hurt, so I have to get ahead of this. I know what's going to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen. You don't. And there might be some nuances of this person, the natural state of someone that you're attracted to that's reminding you of all of these like people that have hurt you before. Okay. Yeah, we have the Two of Wands and we have the Sun. Okay. So again, an external influence, we have the Sun, we have a new beginning, but we have clarity, gaining clarity, being forced to need clarity on this situation. You wouldn't be here watching this if you didn't want to have clarification. And then we have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is making a decision about something but unable to take action in it. Okay, so let's dial this back to how this is an external influence for the two of you. Okay, I feel the Two of Wands is showing up here. Okay, one wand is your head, one wand is your heart. Okay. In order to gain clarity, in order to have that new beginning, in order to feel the happiness, there's only one wand you can choose to move forward. I feel like this is all happening to you to get real clear on what is in your head and what is in your heart. Okay, that's externally influencing you right now. You're obviously influenced by your past experiences, but it's going to show up for you in a way, and that's why the Two of Swords was here. It's going to show up for you in a way where you're recognizing that you have an inability to make a decision. So whenever it comes forward that you have an inability to make a decision, or you're stuck making a decision about something, whether it's to confront this person or to move forward with this person, whatever that is, that's your cue to be like, okay, this external influence is coming in to help me navigate the distance between my head and my heart, and to create that connection with my heart and move forward with my heart. Okay. Happiness, needing to be happy, is a very strong external influence for everyone on the planet right now. So if you can utilize that to your advantage, it's going to free you from your own self-imposed entrapment. It's going to help you recognize your patterns, because you can't change anyone else's behavior. You can only change yours. You can't change anyone else's energy. You can only change yours. You can only shift yours to a place where it doesn't matter how anyone else behaves around you. And I know that's not easy. I struggle with it too. But so that you can come to this place of, it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, you're good. Okay. All right, so let's see a possible outcome for the two of you. Okay. Oh, I love that. It's the perfect card. Perfect. Near next to perfect card. Okay. Yeah, so we have the Queen of Swords. Okay. The Queen of Swords is a difficult energy. Sometimes it's those cold, hard words like, I'm going to get them before they get me. That's the Queen of Swords energy. But it's a protective energy. So it's sort of like if you can balance her out and allow your heart to navigate or to control what comes out in your thoughts, okay? She's a very strong ally to have. She creates healthy boundaries. So, you know, creating the opportunity to make sure that you don't get hurt anymore, okay? You can create that healthy boundary. You can detach from the emotions. But you don't need to cut people off. And I feel like it's deeper than that for you, and we don't have time to go into that today. I feel like it's not the first time you've heard this, and it's not a judgment. There's no judgment in this. There's no, you know, it's all with love, and it's all to help you navigate those things that you do have control over, okay? So I love that this was the first card that popped out, because we have the Ace of Cups. This is a new beginning in love. This is a possible outcome, okay? As long as you don't let this Queen of Swords come in and cut everything off, okay? But this new beginning in love, because this card to me always represents an inexhaustible source of love within. When you start filling your cup and it starts overflowing, and you no longer put that energy out there that you need someone else to fill your cup, you're going to attract the right people. I feel like this is the right person. This is a good person for you, okay? Yeah, look at that. Look at that, the Two of Cups. Two people, cups both filled, meeting each other halfway, okay? Nobody needing anything from the other except the enjoyment of companionship. I feel like this is absolutely what could happen with you. It's just in recognition of your own patterns and seeing how you're manifesting and calling in those people that aren't for your greatest and highest good, because you're wanting them to fill your cup with what they have, but only you can fill your cup. And once your cup is full, and once you start really honing in on loving yourself, this is a no-brainer for you. It will be so clear. That sun that is showing up in both of your sides, okay, will be super clear. But this Tower moment, okay, if you can survive this and know that there's no judgment in that, it's just your own learned behavior. You learned to behave this way. You learned from your parents, from other people that influenced you growing up, that it was up to someone else's job. It was someone else's job to make sure your cup was filled. Maybe that was an expectation that was put on you by your loved ones, that it was your job to fill their cups, right? So it's sort of like being aware of all of these things and recognizing when you can commit to yourself, okay? When you can commit to yourself and love yourself, that you're not putting all that onus on someone else, and they can just be your equal. They can just be your partner, okay? So I hope that this has helped. If it's, I keep doing that. I keep forgetting the fairies. The fairies are going to get really mad at me, okay? We're going to do guidance from the fairies. I'm sorry. Oh, we're going to do some guidance from the fairies here. What do we got? Ooh, we got two. Beautiful. Okay. So we have Justice, okay? So take time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair, objective decisions. Okay, so review this stuff carefully from the space of your heart, without judgment, just with acceptance and love, okay? And then we have Lovers. True love that is lasting, long-lasting. Choices made from the heart, a return to good health, okay? So step into your heart space, Scorpio. You are in this really beautiful place where you have the ultimate power to shift your reality. So if it resonates, please like or share. Be your peace, love yourself, share your light, and have an amazingly loving month.